Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Friday, February 9th, 2024. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. A number of ferries and small boats were unable to dock at Port Kingston earlier today due to a strong surge, which resulted in the closure of the port by the SVG Port Authority. The surging also took place in other parts of the island. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a surge is caused primarily by a storm's winds pushing water onshore. The amplitude of the surge at any given location depends on the orientation of the coastline with the storm track, the intensity, size, and the speed of the storm. The SVG Meteorological Services says northerly long-period swells will continue across St. Vincent and the Grenadines this evening into tonight, resulting in breaking waves along the coastline. It says breaking wave action could heighten around high tide. A high tide was expected around 6:50, 6:17 this evening. A yellow alert has been issued by the SVG Met Services. Small craft operators and sea bathers are asked to exercise extreme caution for breaking northerly swells. Areas of special interest are the western and the southern coasts. Cervical cancer is said to be on the rise here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Discussing the issue virtually on NBC Radio's face-to-face program today, obstetrician and gynecologist Dr. Sherianne Slater said the diagnosis of cervical cancer is being observed in some females before the age of 25 years old, which is terrifying. Dr. Slater also noted that cervical cancer is the second most common cancer among women in the society. On the issue of screening, Dr. Slater said that most of the accessible and cost-effective test is the pap smear. However, international guidelines are shifting more in preference to start screening at the age of 25, even though she is recommending screening begin at the age of 21.
Okay. Cervical cancer is actually the second most common kind of female cancer in our society. And it's very terrible because no one should really be dying from cervical cancer because there's screening for it and we can prevent cervical cancer from happening. We have found, though, that the strains that we have in St. Vincent are a lot more virulent, meaning that they can progress to cancer a lot quicker than the strains that we're seeing in different countries.
Okay.
However, in our setting, as I mentioned before, when I said the virus has been found to be quote-unquote stronger and more virulent than in international settings, we still do recommend that screening is started from age 21 with the pap smear. This is because we're actually seeing patients with full-blown cervical cancer before the age of 25, which is very terrifying. So we still do recommend that you start your pap smear screening from the age of 21, and we still do recommend that it is done every year. International guidelines is every 3 years, but we really think prevention better than cure, and we want to be a little bit more aggressive with our screening. There is another screening method that can be done, but it's only offered privately, which is the HPV testing. So in this test, you can it's done with the pap smear, but you just notify on the form that you want HPV testing as well.
Okay.
And this actually looks for the high-risk strains of HPV.
With an increase in cervical cancer cases locally spanning all age groups, Dr. Slater said a noteworthy figure is that 10 cervical cancer deaths were recorded here last year.
We are seeing it a lot in a lot of older women, but we are seeing it in a young population as well. And over the last year, it actually had 10 cervical deaths. And no woman should die from cervical cancer, so 10 is a lot. So we are seeing a rise in cervical cancer, which really should not be the case, but we are seeing a rise. Looking back at the cases that we've had, outright the reason that these patients had cervical cancer was inadequate screening or no screening at all. So we come, and the history is usually a patient who has never had cervical screening, or their last screening was about 10 years ago. Rarely we may see a case where a patient said they had a screening a year ago, and now they have full-blown cancer. And then we're kind of questioning about that, because we do have patients who come and say, yes, they had a pap smear done and it was normal, but it didn't actually bring the report. And some patients may have a regular swab, but that's not a pap smear, because we use the same speculum to do that swab and think that it is a pap smear, but it wasn't actually a pap smear. So the main thing is just not appropriate screening.
Emphasizing that prevention is better than cure, the gynecologist is encouraging women across St. Vincent and the Grenadines to have early screening done in the form of pap smears or HPV tests.
I mean, message that I would like to get out there is prevention is better than cure. Preventative measures would be one, the HPV vaccine, which is available in the district and the vaccination schedule. Pap smear screening, doing your screening regularly, look someone down the road to do a pap smear. When last you did your pap smear, I usually advise people to use your birthday as a reminder. So give a birthday gift to yourself, go and get your pap smear done on your birthday. The pap smear saves lives, it detects these things early so we can prevent you from getting cervical cancer.
The distribution process of the $500 award to 795 students who were successful at the 2023 CSEC CAPE exams and with their associate degree programs commenced today at the SVG Community College in Glen. Speaking at the awards ceremony, Minister of Education Curtis King noted that those being awarded 475 are students who successfully obtained 5 CSEC passes, including mathematics and English. 203 gained passes in at least 2 unit subjects, as well as in single unit communication or Caribbean studies in 2 consecutive years, and 124 are students who gained A, B, and higher in their associate degree program.
These students have demonstrated in their exit exams in 2023. Their success is a testament to their unwavering commitment and growth. Each of these students will receive an award of 500 EC dollars today. A total of 795 students will be awarded. And I wish to indicate here, because I'm aware that some students had queried their results, where there's an upgrade, and that upgrade has resulted in a student becoming eligible for this award, they will get the award, despite the fact that your name might not have been on the list today. All you have to do, contact the Ministry of Education, and do so quickly.
The Education Minister said that the monetary award represents the investment of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the development of the nation's future generations.
$1 bestowed upon you, you bright minds, is an investment in knowledge, innovation, and progress. To you, the students, those of you who are receiving awards, I say you have faced challenges. You have overcome the obstacles, and yet you have preserved. Your many hours late at night studying, your sacrifices, and your determination have brought you to this stage. Today, we celebrate not just your academic achievements, but also your character, your resilience, and potential. Because believe me, all of these things came into play in helping you to get here.
King further encouraged the recipients of the monetary award to continue to thrive for excellence in their future endeavors.
Behind each of you stands a network of support. Your teachers, parents, guardians, sponsors, friends, they have all guided and encouraged you along your educational journey thus far. Please don't forget to express your gratitude and appreciation to these persons. As you move forward, I encourage you to continue to embrace curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking. Your country awaits your contributions. Indeed, the region and the world awaits your contributions. And I must say, your education thus far has equipped you with some of the critical tools to make a difference. So, whether you pursue higher education or enter the field of work or embark on self-employment initiatives, remember always that learning is a lifelong endeavor.
Delivering the feature address at today's awards ceremony was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who is responsible for tertiary education. PM Gonsalves told the ceremony that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will continue to make the future generations its top priority. He also noted that the government is currently spending $45 million on the community college and the university education for students.
The exact sum of money that we are spending on the police force and as we are spending on hospital services. You hear what I'm telling you? Spending that money on you. You know why? Because without you, this country has no future. You better get that. And that is why I want you to be very focused in your studies. Enjoy yourself. I'm a Lima boy. I'm a Lima man, but I study, I take my work serious from university days. You could be a Lima boy and study on a Lima girl, but you don't gotta go off the rails. You know? I had a lot of fun. Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. You're in a heavenly condition.
Dr. Gonsalves reassured the students that the $500 award will continue for years to come.
Give your parents the assurance, I give the country the assurance that so long as I hold the position that I hold, you will always be at the center of my thinking, on my work, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. Because I know for sure that without you, this country has no future. I designed a program, set up a student loan company for economically disadvantaged students. Since we set it up in 2002, first as a committee and then as a company, we have given loans in excess of $100 million. You don't have to sign, bring any surety. You don't have to bring no security. We lend up to $120,000 for programs which are not law and medicine. Those which are law and medicine, because they're 5-year programs, we lend you up to $150,000. And if you don't pay the bank, the government pays it.
Fast money or money with a catch can be a red flag indicator of potential human trafficking. This is according to Jamaican social worker Stacey Ann Smith, who outlines several red flag indicators that persons can look out for to ward off being trafficked. Smith was a guest recently on the NBC Radio's Let's Face It program discussing the issue of human trafficking.
So Beverly mentioned that there's an opportunity to work somewhere. You're going to get this high amount of reimbursement, and there's no requirement of qualifications. Fast money with a catch. All we need for you to do is have an open mind. Someone offers you a great opportunity to make fast money, get a job, fame or glamour, but you have to do something to help them. make a sex video, carry a package with an unknown content, hide a gun. Somebody professes love kind of too early. They say they love you very quickly and want to protect you and encourage you to stay away from your family and friends. That could be a warning sign. Yes, if it's an abusive partner, but also trafficking. You meet someone new and they offer you expensive things, such as presents or money. That can be a red flag indicator. Or people asking for personal information. I know a very big thing in Jamaica is the issue of scamming, but it's also an issue as it comes to trafficking because of the personal information, like your birth date, address, passwords. They now have access to you and they can exploit you in whatever manner they see best, including coming and taking. You know, while I said that kidnapping isn't the only form, it is a part of the methods used by traffickers. And of course, threats. People are threatening you or harm to you or your family. One of our other victims, you know, the threat was they know where she lived and her family, so she had to stay with them so they could, in her way, to protect her family. There's a warning sign that persons can look out for and be alert for to help themselves ward off being trafficked.
Smith said it is important for members of the public to work along with the various law enforcement agencies, such as the police and the Anti-Trafficking Persons Unit, to prevent human trafficking.
Where you are to follow up with the agencies doing work in your community. So I actually went online and I found that you have an Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, and there they have a page on Facebook. So I would say follow them. Keep the phone numbers for how you can make your reports so you can spot it, know where to get the help immediately. It's important that as you are getting knowledgeable, that you share knowledge with others, get other persons to hear from also other local organizations that this can be. The more you know, the better able you are to spot it. And we are working on education. We realize, as in Beverly's case, if they are not qualified academically, they are vulnerable. So if you want to be a part of donating to that, we are in the process of working with veteran teachers so they can meet with ladies CSEC ready. So they not only have subjects that are very viable, but they can also matriculate into skills training programs here in Jamaica.
The National White Potato Production Project was launched on Thursday, February 8, 2024 at the Montreal Greenhouse Park, which witnessed the unveiling Spunta E and Desire as the main potato varieties for the initiative, which is said to be a key component of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' commitment to CARICOM 25 by 25 initiative and SVG's National Diversification Program. Led by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labor in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, the Government of Dominica and the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, the project aims to cultivate a skilled group of farmers dedicated to producing 5 million EC dollars worth of white potatoes annually for local consumption. At the launching ceremony, Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labor, Saboto Caesar, emphasized the importance of the initiative and encouraged farmers to seize the opportunity to participate. He also expressed optimism about the project's success and its contribution to food security and sovereignty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Research Officer Ruthven Harper highlighted the crucial role of the Extension Unit and the Research and Development Unit in providing technical support to farmers throughout the project. The Ministry of Agriculture says the White Potato Project comes at a time of increasing growth in the hospitality industry in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, further highlighting the importance of local production to support economic growth and sustainability. The first trial plot is expected to be established at the Rouvelette Agricultural Station in the coming week. As the General Employees Cooperative Credit Union, GECU, commences its year-long celebration celebration for its 60th anniversary, the credit union has been commended for its support to the school's cooperative thrift program. Addressing GECU's 60th anniversary church service yesterday at the Kingston Baptist Church, congratulating the credit union on achieving its 60th anniversary, acting registrar of Cooperative Kwesi Kato congratulated the union on the milestone anniversary and highlights its role as a stalwart in the school's cooperative thrift program.
The championing of the thrift program is reflected in GECU's sponsorship of schools such as the Georgetown Anglican and Georgetown Secondary School and Lauders Government on our windward end, to the Girls High School, Siren Hill Government and Kingstown Government in Kingstown and the surrounding areas, to the Layu Government, Spring Village Methodist and Trumaka Government on our leeward end, and we most certainly cannot forget Paget Farm Government in Beckway, Stephanie Brown and Union Island Secondary School in Union Island, and Myro Government in Myro. So it can be seen that when it is said that GECU is a champion of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is meant most wholeheartedly. In closing, let me once again extend congratulations on 60 years now and hope for another 60 years at a minimum.
Delivering the sermon at the church service on the theme, the 60th anniversary celebrations, Reverend Dr. Cecil Richards told those in attendance that even when they are building a gem that looks good and is performing well, like GECU, they must not be fooled by what they have experienced or attained, as good things often don't come easy.
Building anything will test your resolve. It will test your patience. It will test your 60 years, not 60 months, not 60 days, 60 years. It will test your faith. I don't care whether you're building a house. Mostly that's 2-3 years. And that will stress you. You're building a relationship and that might take a lifetime. I can't forget that Valentine's is just a few days off, okay? So I say to all you lovers and your special Valentine people, build it, even though it will test every last nerve in you. Build it. It might be a gem. I thought I'd hear an amen. Building an organization like GECU, it's not an easy thing. I'm sure Mr. Bowman, Miss John, Viola John, any of the others, even Mr. Stowe, brief stint though it was. It's not easy. So first of all, let me offer congratulations to the board, director, chair, president, and all GECU. I congratulate you because what you have done in building this gem, which is an exemplar. GECU is an exemplar to this society. Come on, somebody would applaud that. Come on, you don't believe it? GECU is an exemplar.